till about 6 in the morning, get it going, shorty bounce it. Hey, she looking good enough to eat. Ain't no other way to put it, I'm a creep. Heavyweight, I beat that bush up till you sleep. If that shot.
And I'm back once again. It's the uncle to hit you with a dope album review, like I normally do each week. I try to hit y'all with something. Couple pickups I picked up this past week, and then I give y'all the review that you've been waiting for. Just in case you don't know what I do, because I've been getting a lot of comments about me talking about other people. Well, it's a show, okay? It's not just one thing that I do here, alright? But this week I'll be reviewing my man AP Rocky A.L.L.A at long last, ASAP. But before we get into that, I'm going to tell you about my man out of West Philly, Dell-P, A New Beginning. Dope MC out of Philadelphia. Very talented, that authentic Philly sound if you're looking for it. Anybody who likes Black Moon, Mobb Deep, The Roots, Fonte from Little Brother, you can hear all of this wrapped up in this guy, okay? This guy is just straight up, bar for bar, nice. It's no other way that I could put it. And the cover art is actually really dope too. He's in a classroom setting with a bunch of dudes in the same uniform, and he's highlighted in the center, looking different than everybody else. So that kind of tells you where the album is going to go. 18 tracks. I really thought it was going to start to get boring toward the end. I hate albums with a lot of tracks on them, but this guy, with the content and with the different things that he talks about, he keeps your attention throughout the whole album. A couple tracks I want to point out. Born Scholar, where he's basically just teaching dudes in the game, basically how to be a dope MC and about his skills on the mic. God Given, where he actually asks, where's the love in the city of Brotherly, which I definitely can relate to, because I could tell you, I don't really get a lot of love here in my city. Calling my city out, okay. And he basically on that, he's basically telling people that he has a God-given talent, and no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to stand in the way of what he's going to achieve. I really think that is a nice, dope concept. Broken Home, a really true to heart track. Really positive message, and it just talks about children being raised in an unstable household, no matter if it's a single parent home, or just getting caught up in the city life. The ways that you could just get out of that as a young person is really a dope concept to me. He gets really lyrical on a track featuring Paz called I Got Lyrics, and the title right there could just tell you, it's bar. I really enjoy that. That's one of the tracks where he says, like no funny clothes, no gimmicks. I think that I thought that was dope. Excuse me. And Iceman, I got that joint on heavy repeat when I'm cruising in the car. The beat is banging. The bars are just Philly all day. So you don't want to miss out on A New Beginning by the boy Dell-P. Okay. Another dope album that I picked up this week is my man's 20 Years in the Game, them two balls, Camp Low. Okay. The album is called Ragtime, HighTiming. Okay, snuck out a couple weeks ago, and I just felt like it needed to be talked about because a lot of people do stuff with Ski Beats. If you're not familiar, of course, Ski Beats is the person who helped Jay-Z to get where he is today, but the marriage that Camp Low has with Ski Beats is just amazing. It sounds different than anybody else. I mean, they do so much production for people. I mean, Ski Beats, does so much production for people in the game. But it's just when they get together, crazy. Couple tracks I would like to talk about. It's cold, and that's exactly what the track is. It's cold. It's just like them, just comparing flows, going back and forth about their skills, jewels, etc., however you want to put it. But it's cold. The beat is cold. Power Man. What else they got on there? Track called Sunshine. It's like a disco sounding track, but it actually, he talking about, like what he sees in a woman before he actually makes the move, to go get her. That's really hot, especially being a disco beat. Cold retarded. No other way to even explain it. It's just cold retarded, okay? Another joint where they just going back and forth. Award winning is a nice track on there. Another nice track too, one that you could just kind of cruise to, is the joint called Life I Love. It has that classic, like, authentic Camp Low sound. If you were to go back to, when it with Lucchini and all of that, it's just, that's the authentic, the Stone and Rob, that's just them all night. So another track is You, and they are known for their slang, that boogie down Bronx slang that they made up and perfected. So you have to decipher what they're saying and what they're talking about, and when you do, you realize they actually saying something, and it's real dope. But You has a nice concept, and it's just basically it's talking about, like, when you're working hard and you're out and your chick thinks that you doing something on the slide, but you out there trying to get money and you working, and basically she's being selfish, thinking about herself, and you doing wrong. So I really think that's a dope track. So don't forget, pick up that Ragtime, HighTime by them boys, Camp Low. Okay, so ASAP, Long Live ASAP, came out a couple years back, and he's back. Okay, sophomore album. So let's hop right into it. I must say that this is a completely different album. At long last, ASAP, A.L.L.A, okay? We'll talk about the cover art first, where he actually has ASAP Yam's birthmark. It's in his eye, and it looks like he has his head in the palm of his hands, and then over top of that is ASAP Yam's face. Well, ASAP's face, but with ASAP Yam's remnants, within his face. So basically, you can kind of see where the album is going. A little bit more. He teamed up with Danger Mouse, so it's a little bit more. I guess you could say funkadelic or a psychedelic. That's what we'll say. A little bit more psychedelic. In my opinion, it's something that you have to dig into. I really listened to it a couple of times, just trying to grasp what he was talking about, what he was going through at the time. And it is a little, it's not as doesn't have a lot of up-tempo beats, like Long Live, but it's a pretty solid piece of work when you really dig into it. It starts kind of slow with Holy Ghost, and Holy Ghost kind of just talks about a little bit about the hypocrisy within the church, and how he has his own personal relationship with God, and that might be a little bit of influence of what happened with ASAP Yams. Canal Street, I will say, I really enjoy that. The boy Bones from Cali, he released a couple mixtapes. That was actually Bones' song, and he actually kept it authentic with the chorus, and it has Bones on it, which is really surprising. So you might want to check Bones out too, but that's a little bit too Just showing the difference from the past up until now with ASAP, and the hustle that is still going on, you know, within Canal Street and also within the game. Fine Wine, you know, that's kind of okay. Excuse Me, I really do like that track too, because basically he's telling his fans, people, you know, whoever, you know, that they just got to get used to who he is right now. You know what I mean? Who he was before, and even me, you know, I guess now he's doing movies and all of that, so he's doing a lot of different things, and the person that he is right now is not the same ASAP that he was, and, you know, you can either take it or leave it, and if he stopped doing music now, he cool, you know, he ain't got nothing to lose, so I can respect that. We don't want him to stop, but, you know, we'll move on. Jukebox Joint featuring Kanye. It got the smooth old school beat, and then it kind of switches up in the middle when Kanye gets on it. You know, that's another just kind of braggadocious. Max B, I like the sample on that. That's a nice crazy sample. Far Side, I could tell you, I really like that too. Basically, it's like the battles within his own mind, the far side of his mind. And he talks about the love that he had, or has, and the people that's always been there. So, you know, that's cool too. I like Wavy Bone featuring Juicy J and UGK. Even though, you know, they pulled Sweet Jones back out, it still sounded up to date. So that kind of, I was like, yo, you know, maybe my man was that bull, you know, a little futuristic, because it sounded like it was done pretty recent. And you know, rest in peace to my man, Sweet Jones, I will say, from UGK. M's featuring Lil Wayne, you know, more braggadocious, and Wayne just goes in. I will say that, you know. He does talk a little bit about leaving Cash Money alone again, but he do bar out a little bit on that. Every Day is another track that I enjoy. That'll probably be a single if it ain't already, and maybe I'm late. Featuring Rod Stewart, Miguel, Mark Ronson. You know, so that's a nice dope track too. But, you know, on a rating, you know, I'm not going to talk too much about it. I do not think that it is as good as his last work. You know, it probably won't be in heavy rotation. And, you know, as I'm doing what I do, I'll pick and choose. But AP Rocky A.L.L.A, in my opinion, it just didn't hold up. It is as good as the last one. So I'm giving this a 2.5. Okay, on a scale of 5. And that's all I got to say. Send chills through your body. Daydream about the favelas.